Hey guys, this is James Hergott with Generation Iron Fitness Network. I'm here with Winston Roberts. Winston is an OG in terms of the IFBB. He's one of the founders of the IFBB. He started, actually wrote a lot of the rules that are now implemented in the IFBB. And he even runs his own show up in Canada right now. And he's the longest running judge for the Mr. Olympia. So without further ado, this is Winston Roberts. Winston, this is the 50th anniversary Mr. Olympia. Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, when you got started, envision this coming from bodybuilding?
You know, I gotta tell you, when we were doing bodybuilding, when Ben Weider and I were building the IFBB, to think of this kind of turnout for an event, never in 1,000 years would we have imagined it. I mean, we did it because we loved it. There was no money in it for us. We didn't care. We just wanted to do it. You know, I wrote the Constitution. I wrote most of the judges' booklet. I came up with the compulsory poses. And we were just having so much fun, we couldn't even contain ourselves. But to imagine that prize money was going to be $1 million or more, that athletes were going to make millions of dollars, never in 1,000 years could we have imagined it. I walk through here and I'm totally freaked out. It's like I'm a kid in a candy shop.
It's incredible. Can you tell me a little bit about the early days and the founding of the IFBB and the experience that you had with that, how everything came together?
You know, when I tell you the truth, when I left my tiny island of St. Vincent, and big up my boys from St. Vincent, the Bridge Boys, if they hear it, they'll know what that means. I said to my mother when I saw the plane coming in to take me to Canada, I said, I'm going to meet Mr. Weider. I mean, who knew that I was really going to meet Mr. Weider? Because I was reading the magazines, Weider, Caruso, all the top guys. And a year later, I met with Mr. Weider when I broke from university for our holidays. I mean, as fate would have it, the address of my brother's apartment where I stayed for summer in Montreal, because I went to school in New Brunswick, my address was 2873 Bedford Road, and a buddy of mine said, hey Winston, there's a weightlifting place around the corner. So I got dressed up and I went around, and there was the Weider office. 2875 Bates Road. We were on Bedford Road, 2873. He was 2875 Bedford Road. I walked in and Mr. Weider said, you're a long way from home. He says, count me as your friend, or you can come here anytime, do whatever you want. And then he said, you're doing history. I said, I'm history honors at the University of Mount Allison in New Brunswick. And he said, I want you to write the Constitution of the IFBB. I said, okay, I'll do it. It's just crazy.
Now, one of the things is, like, obviously, you were Mr. Canada. What years were you Mr. Canada?
I was Mr. Canada in 1964, which was the second summer I was there. I trained with Leo Robert, who was Mr. Universe 1955. And, you know, when I won that, I thought, this is crazy. In fact, some guy grabbed me, wouldn't let me go on stage. I said, I got to go on stage because I have to take a picture. I have to compete. He says, no, we want to take a picture. I said, but I didn't win it. He says, yes, you're the winner. Don't worry about it. So I was the first black Mr. Canada. I had a crown, just like Larry Scott had a crown for the first Mr. Olympia. I had a crown for that Mr. Canada. And it was so exciting. It was like a whirlwind in my head. don't even remember what happened after that. It's like so crazy. Then in 1972, I competed again in Mr. Canada, and they tried to deny me the win, why I don't know. And when all the results were recalculated, again I was the winner, and then I went to Mr. Universe in 1972 in Baghdad, Iraq. I was actually a guest of Saddam Hussein. And that's the first year I became the Secretary General of the IFBB. And then I rewrote everything and the judge's booklet and all that with Ben Weeder. But who knew it could grow to this level? Who knew there was going to be a pumping iron? Who knew there was going to be a generation iron? Didn't know.
It's incredible. And we don't have much more time on the tape, so I'm going to ask you, tell us a little bit about your show, where it takes place, what you have going on this year at your event, so that we can put that out there and help promote it.
Well, you know, I count myself as a Coburg boy now. You're from Coburg, and it's just incredible that that little town of Coburg has produced so much, produced you, who's taking bodybuilding to heights we never even imagined. I mean, that's just incredible. So on the 4th of October, my birthday is the 5th, so I call it my birthday bash show. And it's my 75th anniversary, my 75th birthday. And we have Iris Kyle coming in, and she's probably going to be 10 times Miss Olympia when she comes in. And the excitement is going to be so great. Every person that comes to the show will have a piece of cake, and we'll celebrate together. It's like my family, this family of mine is so huge. You're my brother. I loved everybody in it, and I'm overwhelmed. I really am.
Well, I wouldn't miss it for the world, my friend. I'm very much looking forward to it. You know, as somebody that's competed in bodybuilding and been involved behind the scenes, I just want to say I appreciate somebody like you that has really laid the foundation, because we wouldn't be here, Generation Iron wouldn't be here, all of this wouldn't be here if it wasn't for people like yourself who had to put in the struggle back in the day. So I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And to see this happen, the whole Generation Iron experience, and to know that I was the one, for instance, that took the original pumping iron to South Africa, because Ben Weeder gave me the decision to make, to bring the original pumping iron to South Africa. I can't even believe I'm involved with the original and then involved with Generation Iron, knowing you who's spearheading it and making it, bringing it to the public. That's like just unbelievable to be here to see that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you for the time.